All right, so here we go. Excellent. So how's everybody doing today? This is the, I think, third live painting that I have done. I'm getting more comfortable each time. But this is Paint with Lovejoy, so thank you for joining me today. And in today's live demonstration, we're going to be recreating this particular image. I do have it in plastic, so sorry about the reflection. But we're going to be painting kind of a bright sunset background, and then we'll be taking black paint and putting our silhouette design on there. So you are welcome to switch out colors, you're welcome to follow along, and if you feel like changing your bird or your silhouette design, you are more than welcome to do that as well. I am keeping these videos trying to keep it at about 30 minutes because I have another live presentation for the San Diego Humane Society this Friday, and they need me to keep it in about 30 minutes, so I get to practice with you guys this week. Probably next week I'll get into some more longer and more in-depth painting processes. So, all right, so let's go ahead and get started painting. I'm gonna push this to the other side. Let's put it over here. All right, and you can paint on any size canvas. I do have an 11 by 14 right now, and I'll be painting my background on top of it, and then, like I said, putting the silhouette design on there. So our colors today, again, working with our lightest color first. We're going to be mixing the yellow and white together, starting at the top and getting darker as we move down the canvas. So we'll be using the large flat brush, little bit of water, and we're going to do an equal part mixture of yellow and white. So it's kind of a nice spearminty, lemony yellow color. All right. And again, applying a good amount of paint. And with this one, I'm going to be doing those X marks. So it's a very, very therapeutic brushstroke and a way to apply your paint. So if you have anything that's pissed you off this week, throw it into your background. And I am just going to be starting at the top, making these nice little back and forth X marks, applying it pretty thick. And I'll create a bit of a curve here, and then I'll slowly get darker and darker as I make my way to the bottom of the canvas. Now, if you're one of my first-time painters, or even if you're kind of a seasoned painter, remember to breathe while you're painting. We do tend to hold our breath and forget that it helps if we exhale. So if you need to right now, just take a nice deep breath. Let it out and relax. I know the world's in kind of a crazy place right now, so painting is a nice escape from that. All right, so again, just applying it kind of thick, and I do have a big, kind of a wide area, and it's almost like a little half circle at the top of the canvas. So from here, I'm going to be adding a little bit more yellow to my mixture and overlapping the first color a little bit, as well as overlapping the blank canvas. And you'll notice that as you overlap the lighter yellow, and I am just grabbing the straight yellow for this point, it does kind of mix together. And this is what we call wet on wet blending. And it's a really fun thing to just kind of play with. And as you're a beginner painter, you're taking in a lot of information right now about how to mix paint, the pressure of your brush, what it feels like to look at something and try to recreate it. So your brain's working overtime. So be kind to yourself as you're going through this process. And this is one of those things that with more practice, you get better and more comfortable. If you are painting on a stretched canvas at home, make sure you carry your color over the tops, the sides, and even the bottom of your stretched canvas. This does make it look really nice when it hangs on the wall and you have that color wrap around the edge. All right. And now let's see, we've got our light yellow and our direct yellow. So to that yellow and white mixture, I'm going to add a touch of orange, and it gets us to kind of a sherbety orange. And you may have a different shade at home. That's totally okay. But again, we're going to be doing the same thing, just overlapping your sherbety color on top of the lighter yellow and on top of your exposed blank canvas. And as I'm moving this back and forth, I am using kind of light pressure with my brush to create that blending. If you want to finger paint, and I know in some of my other live videos, I went ahead and just finger painted and blended, go ahead and do that. It is nice to just kind of get messy and tactile every now and then. And since we're all kind of stuck at home, you might as well have some fun. And if you prefer more of one color or less of a color that I use, please feel free to adjust yours to what you want. I know. Yeah, I know. People are fighting over toilet paper. So to escape the toilet paper rush and hand sanitizer, correct, feel free to paint. The stores are going to be restocking. There's enough toilet paper for everybody to have some. And if you have extra and your neighbors need it, please share. That is one of the really nice things about the community right now that I'm witnessing is neighbors are looking out for each other. People are helping out and checking in on people. So make sure you do that with your circle, your friends and family. All right, so still moving right along, and I am actually keeping this at a pretty good pace already. We've got our light colors working our way down, and we're going to be doing some red-orange towards the bottom of the canvas. And you'll notice that your red is pretty powerful, pretty bold. So make sure you add just a little bit at a time to get to that shade of that burnt orange. And if you mix your color on here and you apply something and then it's not quite what you're looking for, feel free to grab more of another color and just kind of adjust. You do have a lot of wiggle room while your paint is wet to adjust and apply things. And again, just kind of using that light pressure as things are mixing and blending. Nice. Nice, and I do hope everybody doesn't get scared of each other as this is all going on. But hopefully we can come together as a community and get through this together. And if you know any small businesses, restaurants, gig workers, self-employed people, please kind of look out for them, maybe purchase a gift card, see how they're doing, because we are actually going to be one of the hardest hit in recovery from all of this. So if you feel like supporting me as an artist, as a working artist, check out the link down there for my patron page, and if you can donate a minimum of $2, $5, anything that you can afford on a monthly basis. I consider it kind of like buying me a cup of coffee. Your support continues to help me create videos, to keep the channel going, and to be functioning as a working artist. So even just by watching the video and sharing it with people, that is a big support to me. So thank you for doing that as well. All right. So do get your background to kind of where you like it. And again, I'm trying to look at the screen and see the difference on there. All right. So I actually painted on plastic, so that way I can open this up and use the canvas again. But we're going to give it a moment to dry as I put black paint on my palette. And then we're going to be doing a very similar design to what I had up earlier. All right, we got a few more people joining us. Thanks so much. Hope you guys are doing well. And again, if you're painting at home, you do not have to paint as quick as I am painting. Like I said, I'm trying to keep these kind of short and prep for something, for a video feed I have to do on Friday. But if you're doing the replay, you can pause the video, let your background dry before you move into doing your black silhouette design. All right. Cool, it looks like we got a few more people. Awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and move into doing the black silhouette design, and I'll be applying my paint rather thick because this is still pretty wet. And like I said, we're going to do the tree first, then we'll do the leaves, then we'll add our birds on there. And you can add as many birds as you want, as few as you want. If you want to do a different type of silhouette design, just type in that subject matter into Google and you'll find what you can look at and reference as you build your design. All right, so I'm actually going to start, let's start over here. I'm going to start where I want my branch to end. And using that light pressure, just pulling it all the way across and off to the edge. Now, when we look at a tree, it is usually thinner at the end for the branches as they're growing. So I'm going to keep that one a little bit thinner out there, but I'm going to bulk it up as it reaches the edge of the canvas on this side. And like I said, I'm painting very, very thick. This is actually what we call impasto style. And it's actually a lot of fun. So if you are using student grade paint at home, you may notice that your paint is a bit on the transparent side. And you can either do a few things. You can either apply multiple coats of paint, apply your paint and then let it dry and apply more. Or you can do what I'm doing, because I'm using student grade paint as well. Use light pressure with your brush and just apply your paint a little bit thicker. As you move into smaller branches, if you need to move down to the small pointy brush or to hold your brush sideways, feel free to adjust your tools to what you need. All right, let's see. Let's get one coming up here. And we're going to have this one go off the page. And again, you can see that it is picking up some of the background color. So just going right on top of it again. All right. And if you are holding your breath while you're painting, please breathe. We need you to be healthy, and we need healthy human beings here. So we do tend to hold our breath when we're painting. And if you find that your hand's kind of shaky while you're painting, if you exhale as you touch the brush to the canvas, that helps a lot. All right, let's see what else. Do a few more in here. And I'm going to actually grab that small pointy brush while I make some of these smaller branches. And if you are actually painting what we call impasto style, really thick, this is very traditional of the way oil painters paint. They are globbing a lot of thick paint on there, and then they're kind of manipulating the paint on top of the canvas to create their designs. And like you can see where, because it's so wet and I'm picking up the background, in oil paint and even in acrylic, you learn to just kind of play with that and work it into the design. And if you have not seen one of my live videos, I am right next to the airport. It does seem like the mic that I'm wearing seems to help you guys hear me, but if you hear the plane go over, just take a deep breath, laugh, relax. When I teach my studio classes, a lot of times that's a place for them to take a sip of their alcohol or their drink, but I think a deep breath is much better. All right, let's see, let's get a few more branches over here. All right, and again, I'm actually looking at my painting sideways, and then when I look on my phone, I can see it, the reverse image. So as you're painting at home, I want you to get in the habit of, after you do a couple of sections, get out of your chair, walk maybe 5 or 10 feet away, and look at your painting from a distance. That is the normal viewing distance for most things in life, and we see stuff differently from that distance. So don't be upset if you actually like your painting more from 5 or 10 feet away compared to 2 feet in front of your face while you're painting it. And the joke, like I said, is everything in life looks better from a distance. All right, so I think that's pretty good, pretty healthy looking tree there. I'm gonna start adding the leaves, and you can make your leaves in any shape that you want. I do, on that sample piece, they're more like teardrops or almond shapes. If you wanna do circles, if you wanna do heart shapes, maybe you wanna do a bit more of a detailed leaf design, make the leaf what you want for your painting. I'm gonna stick with kind of that oval shape, just again because, or almond shape, because my paint's so wet and I literally am just applying it super thick on here. So your call, how prosperous or how healthy and abundant your tree is. Is it winter? Is it spring? Is it summer? If you prefer to do your leaves and even your branches in brown or green, an actual color that we'll see, you can do that too. So you can switch up this painting to be what you like and what you prefer. And do have your leaves going in different directions, thinking about all the different directions they come off the tree. They overlap sometimes. Maybe you've got a few leaves that are falling off the tree and they're in transition on the canvas. And even think about the size of your leaves. Do you want some large leaves that are closer to the main tree trunk, or do you want skinnier leaves, smaller leaves as you reach the smaller branches? And again, remember to breathe as you do this. And I've got a pretty healthy tree on mine, so overlapping a few of these. All right. So really grateful you guys are joining me today. I do know that there's so many things going on in the world, and really appreciate that you're taking a little time out of your day to hang out with me. I will continue to do daily videos. It's kind of my way to respond to everything that's going on and to kind of keep my business going. And really just trying to make my business go in a new direction, given everything. So again, just really appreciate you guys taking time and hanging out with me. I will always offer a smile every time you come to see me. All right. And I think this might actually end up being the fastest painting too, so that's good. Sometimes it is really good to paint really fast. Just get it out of your system, and then go back and maybe paint it again. Thanks for hanging out with us, Matthew. Enjoy your breakfast and have fun painting. All right, let's see. I will have to translate the Spanish one, sorry, but thanks for coming and checking out, Monica. I will be working on most of my other videos of getting closed caption and translation for my videos. That's a new goal given our current situation, but thanks so much for joining us. All right, so not too bad, and looking at it, pretty healthy tree. I've kind of got some sloppy leaves on there. So again, just the fact that we're painting, very healthy. You will have time to take a little bit more time at home. All right, let's get into the birds that we'll be putting here, and we'll do a little family of birds. So for birds or any silhouette design, if you can break it into simple shapes, ovals, circles, triangles, boxes, squares, same thing, rectangles, train your brain to look at small shapes within a larger object, and that helps you kind of break down the intimidation of trying to draw something. So for our birds, I actually start with the body first. We're going to do a pretty good sized bird here. And I usually make it a bit of an oval shape. Again, I had a lot of practice with the leaves doing that same shape. And going to fill in the body. Again, using that light pressure and thick paint. And then we're going to give our bird a head and kind of fix the rest of this up right here. There we go. Excellent. All right. And let's get a little bird right here. Little baby bird. We might not actually see his tail. We'll put the tail on this guy in a minute. And a little head for the bird. And as you're using your small pointy brush or even your flat brush, if you're noticing that each brush stroke's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, look at your brush. Do you have a lot of buildup where the metal, let's see, there we go. There we go. So where the metal and the bristles meet, is there a lot of buildup on there? If there is, just kind of wipe that brush off, take off some of that excess paint, and it'll bring your bristles back together to make those small lines. And again, for my beginner and first time painters, this will get more comfortable and more natural the more that you paint. So I'm going to give these little birds a bit of a beak, and that's just going to be a little triangle shape, and I do want them kind of looking at each other. There we go, and little bird looking up. Very cute. And let's give this big bird a tail. And on a lot of birds, a lot of times their outside tail feathers are a little bit longer, and they are overlapping into my leaves there. And then the middle of the tail is a little bit shorter. And even if it doesn't look like a bird up close, as you step away and look at it from a distance, then your eye can see it and assess it a little bit better. If you want to put a squirrel in a tree, put something else. If you want to, I think when I taught this in class, I had a few people put hearts inside their bird, but definitely feel free to kind of make this fun, make it something that you want, personalize it to your style. And let's see, I'm going to put a bird in the background as if he's flying to the tree. Maybe there's a few of them. There we go. Awesome. All right, and any places that you might be able to see your background coming through, just go back and add an extra layer of paint or a second layer when you are done, when it dries. So, nice. So not bad. Hope everybody is doing well. Thanks, Jen, for joining us. And like I said, I will be doing this every morning. This is kind of my response to just giving the public something different, something other than the news and the craziness and anxiety going on right now. This is a good source for that. Feel free to check out my other videos on my channel. Even just watching them helps give me support. If you are inclined to check out my online school, paintwithlovejoy.com, I have all my free videos, $2 videos, paid courses, my intro to palette knife classes on there. And if you are really stressed and anxiety, that palette knife is an excellent therapeutic outlet. So check that out. And I believe I've got it for $25 for the month access, and there's 4 design options on there. So thanks again. I hope everybody has a great day, and be kind, be nice to everybody else, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.